In this video, what I'll do is I'll show you how to make your Windows 8 as close to the old version of Windows as possible. So like Windows 7, XP or Vista, it will boot up into this window as opposed to the Metro interface, and then you'll have your start button here and you can use it like you would normally, so you don't have to go back to that Metro interface. It makes things a lot simpler. It's a third-party app that we have to use. So if you're currently in the start menu like so, all you have to do is go to desktop and then go to Internet Explorer or any other web browser that you might be using and go to your Google page. You can use Bing if you like as well, doesn't really matter. And you just have to type in start 8 and then you need to go to stardock.com. So this is it, Windows 8 start menu. So if you go in there, all you need to do is select Get It Now. You'll need to purchase this. It's about $5. I recommend you just do it. It's not a great deal of money and it's going to make your life so much easier. If you want, just get the trial and see what it's like. So we can just download the trial first. Once you're at this page, just select Download Now. Then you'll see this box here where it prompts you whether you want to run or save it. You can save it to your local machine or you can just run it directly from the internet. For the interests of simplicity, just select Run, and this means it will download the file and then run it automatically and install it. This box will pop up just before it starts the install. Just select Yes and it will begin the installation. Select I agree. Now be careful, you don't need to install any of this other stuff, so just unselect Yes, I want to install Modern Mix because we don't want that, or you can try it if you like. I just prefer to install the very things that I need and I don't like to install all the other stuff because you end up with a lot of junk on your machine. So I just deselect that and select Next, Next, and let it install. Once that's finished, you'll see this little box here, and then all you need to do is click on it and you want to either purchase it or select trial. So in this example, I'm going to select trial. You need to enter in your email address and then you need to verify it so you can begin the trial. What that means is that they will send you an email and then you have to click on the link that's within the email, and that tells the company that you're real and you exist and they allow you to commence the trial. So you need to have an email address. For the hassle, I recommend you just go ahead and purchase the application anyway because it is such a great application and we're going to need to use it. Once we've started the Start 8 program, you'll see this screen here. Now, because we're getting started, I'd advise you not to play around with too much of this. You can change the way that the menu is being displayed, but I prefer to stick with the Windows 7 style menu, and you've got some other settings here that you can change. When you're getting started, it's probably best to just leave it as it is, and then we can change or improve the settings as we get a bit more familiar with Windows. So if we close out of that, we can see the Start button in the bottom left. If we click on that, we've got our menu back as we did with the previous versions of Windows. It's exactly the same, and we've got our shutdown and other settings from here. So it just makes operating Windows so much easier and more efficient. You don't have to jump back to that start area and look around for programs. Any programs that you use are installed here and we can just navigate them and start them this way. If you do need to get back to the Start 8 menu, just click on that and it takes you back here and you can do whatever you'd like to do. Just bear in mind that when you do start some of these apps, it will run them under the Metro interface, which is different to the desktop area. And the way to really tell is if you click on Maps, for example, you'll see that there is no bar or any of the boxes across the top of the window. And if you put your mouse to the top, you'll see that it changes into a hand. All you need to do then is just click and then dump it, which is the opposite to running programs under here. If you start Internet Explorer, for example, you'll see that you've got the full suite of functions and you've got all your buttons and you can exit the program or minimize the program, which just tells us that we're using the full application as opposed to the app that comes from the Windows App Store. Whilst you're getting started, it's probably best to just stick to one area and get familiar with it so you understand what's going on. That's how we turn our Windows back into a normal version of Windows. This is what you would be used to if you've used XP, Windows 7 or Windows Vista. And when you start Windows from now on, it will actually start into this area. And you can check that by right-clicking, going Configure, going to the desktop area, and you'll see this automatically go to the desktop when I sign in. That needs to be ticked. So if that's ticked, we know that as soon as we log into Windows, it will automatically come back to this desktop area and you don't need to go to the start area unless you choose to.